I hope you're enjoying all of your favorite cartoons right here on TV 55.
Hi, I'm Sailor Moon, champion of justice. On behalf of the moon, I shall right wrongs and triumph over evil.
Hey dudes, it's your boy Hazard, aka Shiba, and you guys really like the other two Toku videos, so let's talk about Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon, one of the few Tokus with girls made in mind. Okay, so the series is mostly based around the Dark Kingdom arc of the manga, but for those that haven't watched Sailor Moon, here's the rundown. Queen Beryl and her evil star guardians steal the energy from humans on Earth as a plan to destroy all of the planet. But hope comes in the form of the Sailor Senshi led by the great Queen Sailor Moon. This Toku actually follows the manga pretty closely up till episode 6 with the addition of Sailor Jupiter, and afterwards it starts getting its own direction along with having some show exclusive characters like Queen Mio, and was actually rather dark and even dealt with a lot of really good social issues girls really dealt with at the time. And there are a few differences from the anime, as their arcade command center is now a karaoke place with a secret magic door, along with Rei and Makoto being a little bit more stern and stoic in these versions, and also with Minako actually being a big time idol already, instead of just being an indie one like she was in the anime and the manga. And also, when I was watching this on a totally legal site, by the way, there was this ad that keeps showing up on me that was like, I have a girlfriend, shop here! And it's like, I make videos about toy commercials disguised as Japanese children's programming. Do I look like I pull any bitches? And to henshin in this series, they don't use the henshin pens that they do in the anime and the manga, but they have these bracelets, while Usagi has her iconic heart-shaped brooch necklace, with the senshi forms looking a little more like armor plating than just seifuku clothes, which I always thought was really cool. But the show did have a bit of a rocky start, as it started out kinda bad in overall quality, but after it started getting its own direction, it really became a really good show to watch, with the iconic anime character designs being their henshin power-up forms, instead of their just everyday looks with the seifuku on top. Also, with the funny part of Luna and Artemis, I can't even say their names. Along with the funny part of Luna and Artemis being literal dead-ass plush dolls instead of just ordinary cats, but I find that more charming, if anything. But I think their in-universe reason they're meant to be plush dolls, because Usagi, I think, mentions it in the opening recap. The fight scenes are pretty good, though they were more derisively called the ballet fou, as it looked like they were mostly just twirling around and dancing than actually fighting guys. But it did get pretty good later in the series. And while this is a great show, in my opinion, the ratings were lower than anticipated, and never really reached the height of heights the anime and certainly not the manga ever did, leading to a rather rushed and eventual cancellation, making it more of a footnote and pretty obscure knowledge in the series' history. But before we do anything else, let's talk about these women here, Naoko Takeuchi and Rumiko Takahashi. They are massively influential to not just shoujo and girls manga, but just manga as a whole, because Takeuchi proved with the series of Sailor Moon that a female-led manga can actually be successful as an action series, and also was pretty revolutionary for the time, with a canonical lesbian couple, and also having several non-binary characters, which was actually unheard of at the time, and is still kind of unheard of to this day. In terms of manga in general. Because you have to remember, when Sailor Moon came out, it was around the turn of the 90s, like 89 to 90, I believe. And she was heavily involved with the creation of this Toku series. Way more than she ever was with the creation of the anime. Even herself designing a lot of the characters for this show, and even making up some of the power-up forms. And even to this day, there still really isn't a lot of tokusatsu made for girls, or just a lot of female-led toku at all. As mostly back then, when a woman was in a toku, or in anything really, it was mostly used for titillation and fan service purposes. But we are getting a lot better, because there are now full specials and even whole-ass movies with full women casts as the leads. like Garo Gaiden, Whistle of the Peach, Tokusatsu Gagaga, which you have to watch, by the way. It's really good. And the Hero Mama League.
So for me, I think I was like in 3rd grade whenever I was introduced to Sailor Moon, and it was through like a family member, like back on like VHS tapes or whatever. At this point, I didn't like know what anime was. I just figured, oh, they're just different style cartoons, like whatever, right? So I definitely used that show as like escapism. Like I would draw it all the time, I would watch it all the time. I think I related a lot to the characters because I was like, oh my god, like, you know, like similarities here and there. But also I think I found comfort in it because it revolved around friendship too, and I was like, oh, like that's something that I don't really have. And so just finding like comfort, you know, of like, oh, I can go home and watch this every day, you know, and like have something to look forward to, I guess. And so I don't know, I guess to me it kind of made me feel better because then it's like I could just, you know, watch it and fantasize and like, you know, be like, oh my gosh, like I wish my life was like this, or like something like that, you know, I guess. But anyways, I think from there on I was just like infatuated with the characters and the storyline and the fashion and stuff. And so I think for me it was definitely like a comforting thing. But I mean, I loved like the girl empowerment and, you know, just, oh god, they have superpowers and, you know, like girls can do this, girls can do that. And so, and just seeing, you know, girls in power, females in power, whatever you want to call it.
So for me, since I was so young, I guess that like Sailor Moon served as like a role model for me whenever I was like so young, especially with like little to no like internet access from it being the early 2000s. Like you kind of just had to fend for yourself, and Sailor Moon was kind of one of those like comfort shows for me. That's like like me being Delulu whenever I was little. I was like, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna be just like Sailor Moon. Like, yeah, I'm totally gonna be like a magical girl and I'm gonna like fight crime and do all this. But honestly, she was just like such an icon. I mean, I like love the magical girl genre. Like, it's my whole it's my whole thing. I just love how like they never gave up. Like that was their whole thing. Like I think what I really enjoy about it is the fact that it could hold its own against like popular like shonen anime at the time, like Dragon Ball Z and like One Piece. Like Sailor Moon is that icon. Like even to this day I'm like, she be going on with her 20-30 year anniversary, still going strong in like, you know, mid like 2020, what are we in, 2023? But yeah, I'm like, I think it's a really well written story, and like the character design and everything is inspired by like real life like fashion. Like if you take a look, like a lot of the characters in their concept art and like even in their like manga exclusive art and stuff, they are like real life gowns and stuff from like Chanel and like high-end brands, and I'm like, oh, we love being bougie. But yeah, I was like, I just really love how everything is like connected in a way.
And thanks for the support on these videos. I like talking about Tokusatsu, as you can tell. And if you like this, click here to watch about Toku Spider-Man, or watch here to learn about some Tokusatsu last media. I'm out of here.